Good evening. My name is Laura Alvarado, and for my science project, I decided to do an experiment called Ivory Soap Experiment. I came upon this experiment on the internet. I was reading through it, browsing through it, and it was of interest to me because since I'm going to be a future teacher in the elementary level, this would be a kind of hands-on experiment that I would like for my future students to be involved in. Like any type of experiment, we do start with a research question. Based on this research question, I decided to do the ivory soap and the Dove soap. The Dove soap I decided because that's my personal choice, since that's the type of soap that my family uses. And we're gonna start with the research question. And like it says here, it says, which soap will expand and create more foam, the ivory or the Dove? For my hypothesis, my prediction was by placing two different brands of soaps, ivory and Dove, inside a microwave for 2 minutes each, I predict that the ivory soap would expand and create more foam than the Dove soap. After, my hypotheses would be your material, and this is the material that I used to do this experiment. There could be other alternatives to the materials, but this is the materials that I decided and I needed to do this experiment. One would be 1 bar of ivory soap, 1 bar of Dove soap, a microwave, 2 paper plates, measuring tape and/or a ruler if you wouldn't have the measuring tape, a knife, a paper, pencil, recording table to record your measurements, device to take pictures and video, and an assistant that will help you with this experiment to record and take pictures. For my procedures, this is my procedures. I have 8 procedures. Number 1 would be unwrap the ivory and the Dove soap. Number 2 would be use a knife to cut the ivory soap in 3 equal pieces. Be very careful using the knife. Be precautious. And there is children, please let the children know that there's knives or something very sharp, so we have to be careful with that. Number 3 will be place the 3 pieces of ivory soap. Place the pieces back to its original form, which would be the form of how the soap was, on a paper plate. Place the paper plate inside the microwave. Set the microwave to 2 minutes and press start. Observe and remove the plate from the microwave. Number 6, do be careful when you're removing the plate from the microwave because it could be a bit hot. So if you just want to wait just a couple of minutes before you remove it out of the microwave, that will be a little better. 7, measure the expansion of the ivory soap and recording on the table. And for number 8, you will repeat step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, but using the Dove soap. Here are my results. I did 2 charts. One chart is before microwaving, and my second chart is after microwaving. So I decided to do length, height, and width for the ivory and the Dove soap, and these are my measurements. For the ivory soap, the length is 3 inches, and the height is 1 inch. The width is 2 inches. For the Dove, as we can see, it's a half an inch longer than the ivory. The height stayed the same, it's 1 inch, and the width, it's a little bit shorter than the ivory, it's 1 inch. So after microwaving it, after the procedure went and then we did the expansion of it, we saw the expansion, sorry. For the ivory, for the length, it went 10 inches, the height 1.5 inches, and the width is 7.5 inches. Compared to the Dove, as we can see, the ivory was expanded much more and did more foam. The length for the Dove is 5 inches. The height is 1 inch and the width is 3 inches. So compared to the original size of the ivory and the Dove soap, there is a big difference from 3 inches to 10 inches. So it completely expanded. And the Dove, well, that was not too much of a difference, but it did expand. For my conclusion, it says, in conclusion to this experiment, I was able to observe that the ivory soap expanded and created more foam than the Dove soap. Therefore, my hypothesis was correct. Based on my results, here's my conclusion. So my hypothesis was correct. The further studies that I thought that were part of the experiment was the microwave heats the soap, causing it to get soft. The microwave beams causes the water and air molecules inside the ivory soap to move in opposite directions from each other, and it vaporizes. The evaporation is what causes the air pockets found inside the ivory soap to rapidly expand. At this point, the ivory soap is heated and soft, which causes the expanding of the air and water molecules to push out and forms a foam-like substances. Even though the ivory soap looks different from how it started, which is a bar, the substance remains the same. So I provided some pictures here. For the Dove, I cut it in 3 pieces, even pieces. Then I placed it in the microwave in a 2-minute. Here we could see how it's expanding, and here is the result. And like I said, before you do remove the plate from the microwave, let it sit there for about a minute, just to be on the safe side and you won't get burned. For the ivory, it's 3 pieces. I cut it in 3 pieces, even pieces. And here I placed it in the microwave at 2 minutes. After that, we can see here how it was expanding while it was being microwaved. And we can see the result. And do the same. Wait, a minute. Leave it there just so you won't get burned. Be cautious with that. So as I have provided the actual demonstration of the Dove. As we can see here, at 2 minutes, the Dove didn't melt as much. We can see part of the bar there. It didn't really expand too much. We also can see another part right here, the Dove. So 2 minutes didn't really do anything for the Dove, just a bit. Here in the ivory, we can see a big difference. There isn't any parts of the ivory here. Everything expanded, and we can see the texture is very flaky, and as we can see, it's a big difference when you compare the Dove to the ivory. And that is my experiment for today. I hope you had a clear understanding of the procedures, the materials, and the future study, which is, it's just not only depends on just, it's not only doing the research and doing the experiment, but there is more science stuff behind this experiment. And I'd like to thank you for giving me your attention, and